And we're back with another day in the market, and it was a huge day for one of our trade alerts that we put on the radar about a week or two ago, and it has gone insane since we've called it out here on this channel. So if you want to see more of those alerts in time for you to enter a trade and take advantage of the gains that we're calling out here, hit the like button for me because that really helps out the channel. But just that, go ahead and hit the subscription bell and the notification bell so that you can see whenever we do these trade call outs. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to start with some of the big guys, some of the things that a lot of the tickers that a lot of you guys like to follow. And then at the end, we're going to talk about that trade call out. It's not going to be too big of a video today. We're going to keep it nice and sweet. So let's just get right into it. So overall, the S&P 500 was down 0.67% on the day. You can see if we zoom in a little bit, we are now, as far as the price action, going under both of these moving averages. So in the future, we're going to be looking for these to roll over and see the yellow exponential moving average move above the 7-period simple moving average, and that starts to give an indication that there's going to be a continuation to the downside. And so if we're looking to play this short, we have a ways to go, at least on the daily, before we're under this market bias indicator, which really gives a strong confirmation to go short. However, with that said, it can also be a great launching pad to go long, because we can see it, the yellow moving average kind of roll over the blue moving average, and then when they come back and cross once again and the blue line is over the yellow line and we are above the market bias indicator, that would be a good indication to start to go long. Obviously the MACD and the RSI are important as well, so that's what we're looking at. So the market was down today, and you can see that reflect in, let's just go to Bitcoin really quick. We didn't see as huge of a downturn on Bitcoin as we did with a lot of the tech stocks, and Bitcoin and crypto in general kind of follows a lot of the tech stocks just because that's where a lot of the money is, as far as big institutions. It looked like yesterday we started to see a bounce upwards. However, this yellow moving average, if I zoom in real quick, is still above that blue moving average. So we're still in a little bit of a bearish sentiment, and we did kind of get a rejection right there. As far as the MACD is concerned, we are below the zero line, which is an indication that we are more so in a bearish sentiment than anything else. But we do have a cross here, so there's a lot of mixed signals. Just as far as the price action, it kind of looks like it's doing one of these bounces. So, if a trader is looking to go long on this, they could enter here. And then, depending on risk tolerance, you could even go below this, what looks like a pretty strong support right here, kind of maybe at 28,358, putting a stop loss in it. But as far as the RSI, we are above this moving average, which is what you like to see. Now, it can go above that moving average on the way down, as you can tell, but it does look like there was a little bit of consolidation right here, and now we have that moving average pointing up, which we really like to see as far as bullish. So overall, we're seeing mixed signals on Bitcoin. I could see it go either way. I wouldn't say it's the most terrible time to get into it, given that we are above this market bias indicator. We can look at NVDA real quick next, and you can see that it was down 4.72%. So this is the short that we've been talking about for quite a while. We were just a little early on it when I called it out over here. We got out of our short positions before earnings, which you would know if you've watched my previous videos, which turned out to be huge because there was this huge gap up on earnings. So we ended up saving ourselves quite a bit right there. But now we're starting to see some of the bull market turn back down. We're starting to see the sentiment kind of change. So we have the price action below these moving averages, and the moving averages are starting to act as a resistance, the next step would be for this yellow line to cross over the blue line, which we already do have right here. We've had this divergence for quite a while, and it's actually looks like it might actually finally start to play out. As far as a short on the daily, be careful because we are still above this market bias indicator. We can go down to the 4-hour and see where we're at here. And again, still above it. So, maybe if you wanted to go short, you can play the 1-hour. But again, be careful. Your larger time frames are still above that market bias indicator. So it's a little risky to go short here, but it looks pretty obvious that to some degree, we're starting to take a little bit of a breather. Let's go back to the daily, and we can go to Tesla because Tesla actually is showing something pretty significant, and that is this red triangle here, which is something that I just made up really quick on the Pine editor. And that is a cross of the MACD. So they had a red triangle because the MACD line crossed below the 0 line there, which indicates that it's a little bit more bearish now. But again, we're above this market bias indicator, so ideally you want to look to go long when we're above this, which would be a green triangle, something like this. So it looks like we're in either the early phases of a pretty significant downturn, because a lot of these stocks that were just keeping the S&P 500 up, Meta, Apple, Facebook, Facebook is Meta, NVDA, AMD, all of these are starting to kind of revert back to the median is what it looks like. Or the other side of that is that we're just taking a breather of these huge upturns in this just bull rally that has been going on since the beginning of this year in 2023, like February, really. I mean, you could even technically trace it back to the lows, which was November of 2022. So we'll see how significant this is, but it's pretty exciting because it's either a great time to get in once everything settles, to go long if you miss this bull run here, or it's a time that you could start entering some shorts. So just going back to Tesla really quick, this is something very important you want to put on your radar. So take Tesla, throw it on your watch list, star it, whatever you got to do, set some alerts, and just watch for that. Now, to get to the guy that I called out, let me just point out right here when we called it out. Now, I do think we were a day or two late on it. So just to be conservative, let's say right here, we called it out. We'll just say $5, okay? It was about there. I could go back and check. I'm not exactly sure, but it was about $5. Right now, we are at $7.21. And that is, I'm not going to do the math, but that's 20% No, it's got to be more than that. It's pretty significant. I'm not the best at just averaging that out in my head, but nonetheless, I mean, today we were up 28% in one day. And I just want to go through why I called out this trade setup. And I want you to keep in mind that this 28% increase happened on a day that's overall the market was down. So NASDAQ was down, which is where this is. The S&P 500 was down. And so it just shows the true power of this setup. So let's just run through it real quick. So we had all systems go on everything. So let's run it down. So we had the triangle, the green triangle, which matches the cross of the MACD. So you can see right here, that's when it crossed. We had the blue line, the blue moving average over the yellow moving average. We were above this market bias indicator. We already ran through the MACD. The RSI, which I love to use, but it's more so I like to just use to watch how the RSI is reacting to this moving average. So not an afterthought, very important, but it's kind of one of the last things I look at. And then this is a Trendillo oscillator. I just threw it on here. I haven't really spent a lot of time studying it or not. But keep in mind now, we have earnings coming up tomorrow, so anything can happen with UIHC. This was really something you wanted to get into right on this day, at the very least, when these crossed, which would have been somewhere around here, around the $4.95 level. And this huge spike is probably the speculation of these earnings. There was good news on it recently too, I believe. Let's see, press release. Okay, so nothing really. They just changed their ticker. So really, to wrap this all together, what I can tell you is it's important to use a stock screener. It's important to have a great setup. I have both of these here for you. I use a stock screener. I have a proven setup right here that works. So follow along, see how this works with your strategy. How can this work for spreads, option trading, going long, going short? Do I have a similar setup to you that you can adopt, or something, even just a second pair of eyes? And I call out these trades all the time. So the best thing you can do to help out this channel is just hit the like button. If you want to see more of this content, then hit the subscription bell and hit the notification bell so you can see more content like UIHC. Until then, we'll see you next time. Thank you.